Welcome back. Let's talk about what's been playing out so far. Some we've already highlighted it. Maybe we just had 2 or 3 statements to it. But let's go to this Nigeria. Middle East crisis, prolonged war to hit economy hard. FG warns we're monitoring development to safeguard economic stability. That's credited to Wale Edu, the Minister of Finance or Coordinating Minister of the Economy. Nigeria may face rising smuggling activities amid Iran tensions. That's coming from the experts. So we're looking at all of this. It's just, everybody's just attentive to the volatility that comes with issues around instability in the Gulf or the Gulf region. Bukola, I was listening to someone saying that whenever you have a Republican president, there are 3 things you will likely expect. And this is because their ideologies are consistent. The characters of the leaders each time differs, but they align. I said they will cut benefits for the poor, they will cut taxes for the rich, and then they will drop bombs in the Middle East. Okay. So that's what the person said. So, and when you have a very impulsive leader like Donald Trump, we're going to be literally, this is 4 years of sprints. 4 years is supposed to be a marathon by any standard of imagination. But Trump is an uneasy guy. He's always trying to do something. He's always trying to move somewhere. And now he started this war because he don't want news to be, you know, on all of this. But for us, how it bothers us is that it's a two-edged sword.
You know, and it contrasts with his positioning as, you know, a man of peace in search of peace.
He didn't deserve that.
You know, he boasted about, you know, restoring peace between Rwanda and Congo.
He said he stopped 8 wars.
Yeah, I doubt
and
that.
Started the mother of all wars.
There's peace in that region.
He stopped 8 wars and started the mother of all wars because this is getting to another level altogether. But
many countries are suffering for it at this particular point in time. If Nigeria is buying petrol at this price, we wonder, you know, especially for those other countries that are not oil producing in any capacity, that are heavily dependent on importation of petrol, how much will they be buying petrol at this particular point in time?
The federal government,
unless there are subsidies in other countries as far as that oil sector is concerned.
I will want to believe that the federal government is a responsible government to be able to know as what time to step in. I don't think the President Bola Tinubu, I don't want to believe he will watch this go, maybe if he goes further down south, he will just watch and keep quiet. No, because even our harmonization of our currency is called a managed float. At some point, you have to look at when you have to intervene. So although the sector is purely deregulated, there are laws like the PIA governing that sector. But because we have the privilege of having the resource and the refining capacity, I want to believe that there may be some form of incentivization if it becomes difficult. But what is expected in a properly deregulated system is that if it goes all the way to 2,000, we'll bear. If it comes all the way to 200, we enjoy. That's how it works. But the social impact is going to be...
Will it ever come to 200?
I don't know. The social impact is going to be too catastrophic, especially for transportation, inflation, and all of that. They've done quite well with tapering the numbers. This is going to just push it further up. But the story at the top of this Nigeria, Bukola, is of attention. Senate, APC swells to 81 as Ipalibo Banigo, that's the former deputy governor of River State. I don't know what she waited for. Defects, PDP shrinks to 17. So you see, supermajority. So let's be clear on how this works. This is pure democracy. So the reason I had to say this is pure democracy is to the fact that let's know that with the way the National Assembly is constituted, if the president wants anything done, no matter how we agitate, and he needs the nod of the National Assembly,
he gets it.
It will take significant pressure for the Senate and the House of Reps not to pass it.
But Jeffrey, I gave you the answer. He gets it.
He gets it. Yeah, I'm just saying. That's what I'm saying. I put it, since they like provisos, let me add the proviso. It will take significant pressure from the Nigerian people to be able to change such decision. So now, my senator is a member of the APC. I think my reps, so he was in PDP, should be a member of the APC now, and all of that. So is to lobby them if you want anything done and say, look, I know you like to be a party man, but this decision by the government is unreasonable and maybe irresponsible. Can you vote against it? If they have the guts, they will. If they don't,
And you know, the Senate President's positioning from yesterday still has a lot more work to do to convince us. You know, he was saying that the social media magnifies the problem, but the Senate treats the substance of the problem, that the Senate is the floor of real debate. You know, but hey, these are elected representatives of the Nigerian people. As far as ease is concerned, or the ideal atmosphere for their dreams and aspirations to thrive and, you know, bring about results, that is not the case right now in the country. It's either we're talking about kidnapping, we're talking about insecurity, or we're talking about hunger, poverty, starvation in some cases. How many millions of Nigerians do we currently have in internally displaced persons camp? So we expect more, you know, from elected representatives and those at the executive level currently. And it goes to buttress the point that you have made, that amid all of this, there is no communication from the president. Neither is there any communication. I wonder if elected representatives are holding meetings with their constituents as far as the deepening hardship in the land is concerned. If they are, you know, we should be getting feedback from, you know, what they're doing to ease the hardship.
You know, the president, as I said, our leaders, they talk when they want. They don't engage. The only thing I heard him during the breaking of the fast was just talk about assuring that, look, this will be sorted.
The president did say that the economy has turned the corner. But Jeffrey, the evidence, you know, says all it has to say about the president's position as far as that is concerned. But well, let's go to the next paper, and The Guardian is next this morning. It leads with politics. Party politics, APC's 31 of 36 states, narrow options, multi-party contest in 2027. And you see the map there. And this is mischievous. You see, Mr. President.
It's not mischievous, it's facts. This is facts in front of you. This is facts.
Well, it makes it look like Mr. President is responsible for the 31 of the 36 states. Well, this is coming from The Guardian, not from me, so it's left for you to decide. So you see
is his party now?
It's his party, the All Progressives Congress. But who's responsible for 31 out of 36 states, Jeffrey?
Well, I don't know. I know that what is being said is that the APC has done either of any of the next things I'll mention. It's either they have bullied the people into their party, or blackmailed them into their party, or giving them money to join their party. Or it could be that the governors in the PDP, they just admire the president and they feel that they can work with him, or the instability in their own party is even giving them the reason not to stay anymore. So choose which you believe. I know what I believe. Okay.
What do you believe? But on the front page of The Guardian, if you look at that map, the states colored in white on the map are states, you know, in other political parties. And so you have Bauchi up north there, PDP. You have Oyo. Oyo is Accord. No, Osho is Accord, yes. Rather. Then you have Oyo, PDP. You have Anambra,
just make it easy for yourself.
And you have Abia, LP.
Just make it easy. There's Labour, there's ABGA, there's Accord, and then there's 2 PDP. The rest is APC.
Precisely.
So just
the rest is APC.
Save yourself the trouble.
But what will 2027 look like? And I want to be frank in, you know, my reflection on this. Without the element of vote buying in 2027, what would the elections look like? Would the DNA, as Jeffrey always says, of the people, would it reflect the DNA of the governors who have defected, or would it be an independent DNA that reflects the will of the people? So that's left for you to decide. That's it from, well, there are other stories on the front page of The Guardian newspaper. You see there, PDP Caretaker Committee celebrates appeal court verdict validation. Of course, the other National Working Committee led by Abdurrahman Saminu Turaki also is insisting that that judgment favors them. And then there's this one, FG, yes, right under the big picture on the front page of The Guardian newspaper. FG rolls out CNG kits as petrol, diesel spending nears 3 trillion naira in March. And what this says to me, Jeffrey, is this is another reactionary government intervention coming right amid petrol reaching 1,000 plus naira per litre. We've always talked about how the increase in the pump price of petrol from 2023, has become an albatross for Nigerians rather than any benefit, of the reforms of this administration. And so what, as that presidential committee on CNG, what has it been doing prior to this time? So this appears to be reactionary. We still do not have that domestic capacity for CNG nationwide, with a few of those stations spread across different regions of the country, always, having long queues, of people who want to buy CNG. So this is reactionary. There is a real need amid all of this. Who knows whether we're going to be buying petrol at 1,500 naira per litre. So we need more action, more intentionality in this type of intervention. Jeffrey.
The CNG was a good initiative, but this is classic failure from the Bola Tinubu presidency. Good idea, but poorly executed. Because if the CNG had succeeded, the pressure we're feeling with the PMS would have been way less. Because you're not just talking about not buying elements of fossil fuel, you're talking about environmental conservation and preservation, in that sense, clean energy. But this has actually shown that it was a good idea that was terribly and poorly implemented by the leadership. Whoever it puts in charge, I think they should be, the president should rethink the leadership of whoever is in charge.
And indeed, there were some distribution of CNG buses nationwide.
I hope that they give them enough resources, because sometimes when we are critical, we need to be fair. Sometimes you put people in charge, you empower them enough to do the work. Those are two different things altogether. If they had a budget, if they had things, they earmarked, and they requested that for us to achieve this within so time, please, we need this. If you didn't give them, then there's no point. You are the one that failed, not them, in that sense. So I hope they were, I don't know what the issue was. Were they not properly empowered? But it was just government not committed through and through. And adaptation issues as well. There's hesitancy in adapting to that form of transportation or using that form of energy.
No, but Jeffrey, even for the CNG buses that were distributed nationwide, that's part of the problem. We should also be doing a follow-up to see whether those buses are being
some are in use. Some are in use. Yes. I've seen some that are in use.
And if they're not, is it also another challenge?
Whether they're adequate is another thing.
Inadequate availability, rather, of the CNG product itself in stations nationwide. And we still do not have enough to cater to the needs of Nigerians, because those CNG stations are just a few in some regions of the country.
Okay.
There's no national spread yet.
Let's go to Nigerian Tribune. Nigerian Tribune. This is very heartbreaking. Kidnapping. Protest in Ondo, Oyo. 2 dead, 3 abducted. As Ayedatiwa vows crackdown on kidnappers, protesters cause gridlock on Ibadan-Oyo Road. Police query DPO, detain inspector over protest in Oyo community. Arrest 2 Nigerian nationals, 30 other suspected bandits in Kwara. Afenifere expresses concern over rising cases of kidnapping, banditry in the southwest. I don't think there's anything to add. These are facts. You can't debate, you can't argue. Sometimes when I see government people trying to argue over these things, it's very heartbreaking. And sometimes I just pity them, because something you just acknowledge the failure and promise to do. 2 Nigerians,
Two
Nigerians, not Nigerians, 2 Nigerians, my apologies. Sometimes you don't argue with these facts. You just acknowledge it and tell us what you need to do to ensure that this doesn't happen again. Because I think in 2014, the issue of insecurity was a bit measured. But boom, towards the end of it, and in 2025, it took another scale and it's not coming down. So all that threats or those tough talk by the president. Remember when the president was presenting the budget, when he spoke very loudly and said, this nonsense will stop. This is me using my words, but that is a measure of the expression he gave that, look, we're not going to tolerate this. In fact, his Minister of Information, who I haven't seen talk for a while now, I don't know what's going on, Mr. Idris, the Honorable Minister, came and doubled down and said, look, in case you're not clear on what the president was saying, if we see you bear arms and you're not security agency, you're an enemy of the state, and what meets such people will meet you. But it looks like that was just political talk, because it's gotten worse and worse by the day. We hope that this stops as soon as possible. But maybe we'll take a break now so that we can get to that conversation around the PMS price, which is what a lot of Nigerians are concerned about. How much are you buying fuel How much are you buying diesel? A producer, Nollywood producer, Kona Falanya, the other day says he spent 11 million for diesel or something in his facility. So what is it for you? I don't have all the answers. The experts will tell you. Kelvin Emmanuel is an energy expert. Billis Gray Harris is going to join us. He's the president of Petron in just a moment. Stay with us.